Lexi, Bernie, it's so good to see you again.
And you.
Thank you.
Good to see you,
Good.
Liz, Lexi, good to see you guys.
I found an interesting topic I'd like to discuss with the two of you.
Of course.
Oh, well, actually, it was an article that I found on Your Tango, which is a great website. And the article is written by Derek Harvey, who is a contributor.
Okay.
And his article says this, the silent killer of relationships. What do you think that would be?
I would think communication.
Not following through with what you expect or what you want to, I guess, I'm not really sure either. What's it going to be?
Oh, well, it surprised me completely. It's the unmet expectation.
Ah,
Yes, and that is the reason why marriages end in divorce, because of unmet needs.
that's amazing.
Yeah, but it's not only a divorce problem or a relationship problem, it's like a whole life problem.
Yeah.
Every day when you're dealing with people and in relationships, the unmet need is what frustrates people, and it builds and builds and builds. And of course, you have as an example, I'm late getting home from work and he's been there since 4, and so I expect dinner on the table when I get home. I get home and there's no dinner on the table, so I go to fix dinner and there are no groceries in the pantry, and it builds and builds and builds, but I don't say anything. I don't communicate my need.
Yeah.
And I think communication is probably one of the best ways
Makes sense.
to get your need fulfilled.
I agree. So what was your expectation then in that example? Just to clarify. Because everybody has,
Yeah.
his expectation was probably different than yours.
Yes.
So what was your expectation in that example?
In that example, I was late getting home. It's 7 o'clock. I was busy. I couldn't text him or respond, put it out there for him, but I thought he would take the initiative to have dinner ready. We're both hungry. And in fact, he's on his computer, either playing games, probably, and then I get home expecting a nice dinner and there's nothing. And not only that, but then I have to cook it. And not only that, but then nobody went to the grocery store.
Interesting.
Yeah,
See,
makes sense.
So it's a combination of things, but to the point that you made, and it's neither one of you, or they in that example, had communicated what their expectation was. I'm going to be working late tonight.
Yeah.
I need you to go to the grocery store. If you can cook dinner ahead of time, great. If not, have it there. I can
Yes.
do it or help you. Okay.
And it could also be that maybe I was expecting him to connect the dots. Late from work, dinner, would be nice, something like that. Whereas he is not even concerned about dinner, he's just going to go up and relax and, play his computer game.
And then
Because he's worked all day as well.
yeah, and as it goes on in a week, it could roll, the same scenario could roll over 3 or 4 times, and without talking about it, it becomes a mountain. Or
You
it's just a
build
minor
that,
thing.
you
Yes.
build that disappointment.
Yes.
Yeah.
And again, you still may not be talking about it, so all of this stuff is building up, and you become resentful.
Yes,
I
yes.
hadn't thought about
But
it
it's so
that
hard, I don't know, it's hard for me to express myself and my needs, because I feel I'm the one who takes care of everybody else's needs.
I understand that. I think what should be done is when you first become a couple, or even before marriage, or even after, you need to really sit down and give each other guidelines of what you are expecting, and not as demands, but just kind of like where my head's at and where your head's at, and if that makes sense to you guys.
It does.
Yeah, or just as a female, no, men don't normally connect those dots, so help them with it if you can.
Or
Yeah.
they connect
Or
to me.
lower your expectations knowing that they don't connect those dots.
Yeah, no, see, that's a hard one for me, to lower expectations. Yes, and obviously you're reacting to that as well. But again, yeah, what they're thinking, what I'm thinking, that they think I'm thinking is entirely different. So we can't reach each other's minds, but yeah, that's very interesting. But that applies, as you said, not just to relationships. It applies to job. It applies
Yeah.
to any interaction that you have, whether it be professional or personal.
Yes.
And what are your expectations in this situation?
Right.
Like, we could be talking about what are our expectations here today. What are we going to do this evening? I'm expecting that we're going out to some fancy restaurant. You're expecting that we're going to put on our sweats and watch TV or whatever.
Mhm.
Yes.
So, I like that. Yeah.
I think, yeah, I think,
Yeah, it goes back to communication too, yeah.
yeah, and as you say, Bernie, having a plan, saying, you know, putting it out there.
And it's not being demanding in any way, it's just opening up to each other. And you have to open up in a relationship. Otherwise, it's not a real relationship, I feel. And I'm only giving it from my point of view, but that's where I'm at with it.
Bernie, in my experience with the men that I've dated and have become close to in whatever way,
Mhm.
they seem to have more difficulty communicating
Okay.
than I do. And I've observed that phenomena in women. It seems that women
Yeah.
have this innate ability to communicate their feelings a little more clearly or better or more. I
But
should
these
say.
are feelings you're talking about.
Yeah, but included that is an expectation. So since we've kind of said part of the issue about expectations is communicating them, as a man, is it hard for you to communicate? What are your thoughts about, and I don't want to generalize, men in general communicating?
You know, that is a good scenario because I don't think myself and other guys really realize that we aren't communicating. We think we are, but you know, now that you put it down in that way, it's like, wow, you know, what the problem is, it's hard to really figure out because this is just the way we are. I don't have a good answer for you because you understand? This is just us, and I guess we just assume everybody understands, and you know the man grown stuff in the man world kind of is a way of communicating in one way, but to get back with the femininity of the significant other, wife or whatever, you guys don't relate to what I'm saying in my way of doing things. This is, you know, I'm just going by what I really don't know why guys don't do it. And if anybody can help me out.
I think maybe communication is a skill, and you
Yeah,
to develop that
I think you're
skill.
right.
Oh,
Conscientiously.
absolutely. I think you've hit, it is. I've never
It's a
thought it is a
skill.
skill. I
Yeah.
think that is absolutely true.
Life skill.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely true. And still, in communicating,
Mhm.
I can say one thing to you, communicate one thing to you. Liz can communicate one thing to you, and probably the way we communicate, you may have a different
Exactly,
understanding
yeah.
of what our expectation of that situation is.
Mhm.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, and it gets to be a thing where anyway, you know, it's almost like texting. You guys can text me something and mean something, but when I read the words, I go, because I don't hear the voice, I really don't know what context it is. And, you know, it's just kind of, it is crazy. And guys just don't communicate well, and it's just, I think that we're just afraid to just give ourselves
So
up.
how do we go about, so it is a skill, you need practice to increase your skill level. How do you, so I guess you just conscientiously, you determine you're going to start with expectations that you want and let that person know. And I think it will evolve from there.
Yes, I think that there's no set answer because it's different for everybody, but probably what you just said is the closest thing to a
Yeah,
resolution is
yeah.
you talk to each other and you say, in this relationship, this is my expectation.
Yeah.
And he states his expectation, and then it's a compromise. You then have to, again, talk.
Yes.
And the more you talk, the better you get at talking.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's going to happen overnight.
No.
So
And I think the woman, by starting the conversation about, you can pull it out of the man, and he'll answer, but for the guy to start the conversation about what his feelings are and stuff, it's kind of difficult, I think, for guys.
Well, yeah, I think feelings are something different than
Yeah.
expectations.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yes.
Expectations are tangible.
Okay,
Somewhat,
I'm with you,
yeah,
yeah.
more tangible than
Yes,
feelings.
feelings are completely different.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right, men don't,
Mhm.
I think, communicate feelings as
It's
well as
very
we do.
interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something.
Well, thank you.
And
Glad
thank
to
you for
help.
your input.
Lexi, Bernie, awesome as always.
Yes.
Great
Thank you.
conversation.
I enjoyed it.
If anybody has any additional comments, please
Yeah, help me.
down, yeah, burning out here.
Help us all.
Comment on our Facebook page or our YouTube page and like us as well. Subscribe to us. It doesn't cost anything. You'll get updates on our newest posts. Please give us feedback. Thanks. Until next time.
Until next time, my name
Yep.
is Splendor.